This is the Brave New Coin Crypto Conversation, hosted by Andy Pickering.
Hi everyone, Andy Pickering here. I'm your host and welcome to the Crypto Conversation, a Brave New Coin podcast where we talk to the people building the future in the Bitcoin, blockchain and cryptocurrency space. Hello everyone, Andy Pickering here, and we have a very good show for you today. But before we get into it, need to shout out our new sponsor, Nexo. Yes indeed, are you ready to grow your wealth with the world's leading digital assets institution, Nexo? Well, you should be ready, because you can earn up to 12% on your digital assets with Nexo's high yield savings account. That's right. So treat yourself, treat your crypto, and treat your fiat with the industry's best crypto and fiat services, which include compounding interest paid out daily. There are 18 available cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, various stablecoins, and many more. And 3 fiat currencies are accepted, the euro, the pound, and USD. And Nexo has up to $375 million worth of insurance across all custodial assets. Top-ups and withdrawals are available at any time, and there are 0 fees for using the Nexo Earn Suite. So, are you ready to start earning? Of course you are. Simply go to nexo.io, and of course that is spelt NEXO.io. And now it's on with the show. My guest today is Manu Alzuru. Manu is a humanist, a Solarpunk, an engineer, and the founder of DoinGud, I think that's how you say it, which is a next generation NFT platform working on empowering content creators and curators and helping them engage with their audience. Hey, this is very exciting. Welcome to the show, Manu.
Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you for having me here.
All right, man. Hey, well, just before we learn more about the platform that you and your team are building, could you please give us a little bit of an introduction to yourself? Let's have some of your background and how long have you been in crypto?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm a mechanical engineer by studies, but before I got my diploma, I was already creating different websites as a freelancer, and also for myself. I created like different stores where I was just importing stuff from the US and from Europe and selling it back in Venezuela. I did that during my high school and my university years. So since a kid, I'm already trying to be an entrepreneur. And then after that, I got my diploma as a mechanical engineer. Then I got hired by one of the largest oil companies in the world, called Schlumberger. There, I was a field engineer. And after a few years, I realized that after a few months, I realized that that the whole oil industry is super corrupt and disgusting, and really exploiting Earth and not necessarily giving back to humans, at least in Venezuela, which is the richest country in the world, but sadly the poorest country due to the amount of richness that it has. So I found this really, really sad and actually disturbing. And I decided to leave the oil industry. And then after that, I got back into activism, because when I was in university, I was an activist. I was, protesting for freedom of expression and also for property rights. And that got me in a lot of trouble back at home. So I had to leave the country. And I came to Europe. And when I came to Europe, the first thing that I did, I was working as a freelancer, creating websites for different people. After that, I got hired by Microsoft and AXA as their CMO for one of their startups. I got into the crypto rabbit hole thanks to a very good friend of mine who at the time was working with color coins and also was creating decentralized exchange smart contracts. And when he showed me that you could transact, you can exchange or swap tokens without having a middleman, And just by having a smart contract, that blew my mind. And that's when I decided to to leave my job and to start digging into the whole blockchain industry. And the first thing that I did, I started to find ways to bring real world assets to the blockchain. So first, we were tokenizing real estate, tokenizing venture funds and venture capital with the European legal framework. Did that for a while, and after that, I realized that the vision that I had, which was to enable anyone around the world to invest in any type of asset, wasn't really possible because, as you know, there's a lot of regulation around the world. And it was basically a product that was only accessible by accredited investors. And because of that, I decided to leave and to focus on what I thought was going to be the next big thing. And that was 3 years ago, more or less. And that's when I decided to start to work in DAOs. And the first DAO that I joined was the Metacartel DAO, which is a DAO that is giving grants to the Ethereum community that is building, different decentralized projects. And then at the same time, I got invited to become a mentor at the LAO. As you know, the LAO is one of the venture capitals that is completely on chain. And at the same time, I was advising different projects here and there. And last year, I actually got COVID at the Ethereum Community Conference. And after the Ethereum Community Conference, I realized that currently there's no platform for enabling people that need help to connect with those that can provide help. And that's when I decided to write a paper and to start working on what it was called at the time, 5pandemics.com, which was this platform for mutual aid. And the idea was to actually create a social DAO using all the donation of time and human capital that people put into it, because over 1,800 people from all over the world contributed with time and obviously with their knowledge to the creation of this platform. The platform was completely created without raising one single US dollar. But yeah, I realized that, most of the people don't really understand human capital and social capital, and that they understand financial capital. And that's when I decided to try to bring financial capital into the project. And the best way for us to do it was using NFTs. Also, at the same time, while I was doing that, I was also advising and helping out API3. API3 DAO is one of the largest DAO by its treasury. And yeah, basically, that's a little bit about me and what I've done in my career.
Very nice, Manu. Well, you've been very busy indeed. So I guess that brings us nicely up to speed. So you mentioned NFTs, right? And well, that is what we're talking about today. So I suppose that's kind of, as I say, it brings us up to speed. But what's the origin story then of this platform, DoinGud, that you guys are building?
Yeah, so initially, as I said, we were creating, our community was creating this platform called 5pandemics.com, for helping people connect during the pandemic. And we were already working with NFTs. We were doing badges and so on. So people that contributed time or any type of resource were receiving this badge that, at the end, the idea was to give them tokens as well that could enable governance for the protocol. But yeah, after talking to so many people, I realized that most of the people didn't really understand the human capital aspect, that you could have sweat equity, which is weird to me because that's pretty normal, I would say, to have sweat equity. But yeah, because people didn't really understand the whole human capital and social capital, that's when we decided to, bring some sort of connection with the financial capital. So at the time, we were just, a mutual aid platform. So what we decided to do was to basically stream money to social causes. And the way that we wanted to do it was by enabling creators to tokenize any type of digital content and have a percentage that goes to a social cause when the asset gets sold. So essentially, the idea of DoinGud is, with every form of expression, that we could do good for humanity, and yeah, that's how it all got started. So it comes back for the community that we were creating, and now DoinGud is like the main focus.
Yeah, so talk me through how this works then, Manu, because you talk on the website, I think you talk about wanting to unlock collective empowerment, which I guess is another way of talking about social capital, right? So what's the kind of the model and the background? How do you want to try and unlock this collective empowerment and empower people?
The creators in the platform, they're able to collaborate, meaning that they're able to work together with other creators. They can decide what is the percentage that other creators should be getting for that asset when it gets sold. That's the first part. The second part is that, when creators upload their creations to the platform, they're selecting as well which social impact organization they want to support. And we have in our DNA of our business model that a minimum 5% needs to be donated to a social cause. So the creator can just select how much they want to give. We just give them the freedom to select these social impact organizations. And these social impact organizations are also kind of like categorized based on which SDG or Sustainable Development Goal by the United Nations they want to achieve. And essentially what it means is that, we bring creators together with other creators if they're collaborating, but as well with communities, which creates, a more healthy ecosystem. And that's kind of like the idea behind DoinGud.
Very nice. And, whereabouts are you in terms of your roadmap to launch?
We're currently in the process of being audited, and hopefully once the audit is done, we're able to launch the platform in a couple of weeks. So yeah, in the next month, hopefully in September, we should be launching our platform.
Nice. And I understand that you guys are working to, I suppose, mitigate against some of the potential downsides of NFTs, depending on where you sit on these kind of issues. But so you're working with a proof of stake blockchain, so there'll be slightly reduced minting costs. Is that right?
Actually, there won't be any minting cost. So creators can come to a platform and without having any crypto experience, they can create, they can, upload their creations. And whenever the asset gets sold, that's exactly when it gets minted. So what we're doing is lazy minting, and just hopefully in the future, we're going to enable the collectors to decide where they want their asset to live in. Initially, we're starting with Polygon. As you said, it's a proof of stake. Also, we're going to be working together with other EVM compatible chains. And the idea is to pre-mint in all these EVM compatible chains, and that the token only gets minted when it gets bought.
Yeah, interesting. I've seen a few different platforms that have adopted that model lately. So it's quite a smart idea. It's like, the NFT, no reason to mint it until it's sold, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Otherwise, you're wasting your resources.
Yeah. Well, what do you think of? This is quite interesting what you're doing. It's kind of by the sound of it, it's like a kind of unique mix of, I guess, like an NFT platform, and there seems to be a kind of I don't know what you'd call it, like a social cause or a humanist rationale behind it, right?
Yeah, it's actually a social media and marketplace at the same time, with obviously an altruistic element.
Yeah.
And the idea is, that with the products that we create, because also we're supporting other founders as well. We're helping other founders launch their products. All the products around our ecosystem we have some sort of altruism built into it.
I mean, crypto is not generally known for its altruistic causes. You know, at the moment, even though obviously massive interest in NFTs this year, but a lot of that is, well, a lot of it is speculation. A lot of it is collectors as well, and just people kind of aping into meme coins as well. That's been a big narrative this year. What are you doing to, I suppose, you know, get user interest in your platform, both from you know, potential NFT collectors and creators as well? How do you kind of want to, you know, try and make an impact in the market?
Well, as I said, our idea is to enable anyone around the world to participate in this ecosystem, whether they have or not experience with crypto. So people are going to be able to come in and without having a crypto wallet or anything, they'll be able just to log in. Obviously, like, we're not custodians of the assets or anything. We're using a service called Magic Link, which essentially gives you the opportunity to use your email as your login and as your wallet. They construct a wallet when you log in with your email. And essentially, as I said before, like, creators can post without having any crypto in their wallet or anything. But coming back to your question, like, the main reason why creators and collectors would join the platform is because it's a conscious-driven platform, where, you know, the main goal is to basically eliminate at some point, hopefully, the need of social impact, because it would be normalized that every transaction that we do will have a social impact attached to it. And, you know, our society is becoming more and more transparent. And therefore, we believe that reputation is actually the ultimate currency, and not Bitcoin and not Ethereum or any other currency. We think that reputation is going to be super, super valuable. We believe that with this type of NFTs, you're actually putting your money where your mouth is. If you really want to make an impact for the world and for humanity, you'll be able to show it. Because, as you know, there's a lot of creators and also a lot of collectors and even funds that they say that they're supporting social causes. But how can we prove that? How can we prove that in reality that's what they're doing? Well, with our platform, the transactions are happening on chain. Even the social causes will have their own wallet. So we will see that the money actually went where it's supposed to go. So that's one of the things that we believe is very different from all the different platforms out there. Apart from that, I would say the technology itself. In most of the platforms, there's still some sort of centralization, and in many, actually, the centralization is really hardcore, to a point that even the user profiles in our platform are going to be owned by the users themselves, meaning, like, the whole content that they put on their profile, their bio, their username, the different social medias they're attaching, all of that is being stored in a decentralized way, where actually the people have ownership of that. Also, another important thing to mention is that our platform, we don't want to be a centralized party. We want to be a decentralized party and open party as well, let's say. So the idea is to actually incentivize and reward those that are contributing to the platform. So those are buying, those are selling, those are curating. So like that, they can become owners of the platform that they're using. So that's like the main difference when it comes to other NFT platforms.
Got it. And Manu, you know, all this talk of you know, humanism and altruism and DoinGud, right? Which is what the platform is called. And I noticed that, I think I saw it on your Twitter bio, you self-identify as a solarpunk. And this is quite interesting because, so I'm just looking at the, I guess it's as good a definition as any, which is the Wikipedia definition for solarpunk. And it says solarpunk is an art movement that envisions how the future might look if humanity succeeded in solving the major contemporary challenges that we face today, with an emphasis on sustainability and solving climate change and pollution, really. So it's kind of it's the flip side to cyberpunk, right? So cyberpunk is a bit dystopian, whereas solarpunk is a bit utopian. Do you relate to that? Is that accurate?
Yeah, for sure. I think that the Solarpunk movement is a movement around, as you say, around arts and around technology, and how we could potentially use art and technology for making the world a better place. So definitely, I definitely identify with it.
Yeah, cool. Just before we go to the break, let's finish this part of the podcast off. Anything else you want to share on DoinGud or the wonderful world of Solarpunk, which I'm quite intrigued by?
Yeah, well, DoinGud, it's an organization that is planning to become a DAO, and to become governed by the people that are actually creating value for the platform. The idea is, to have this platform as a public good, and that anyone around the world can use it and hopefully benefit not only themselves but also their own communities as well. And yeah, that's the ethos, and the idea is to also decentralize ownership of the media and data. So yeah, hopefully with this new type of technology, we can create better social medias, better marketplaces, and that was the ethos of Ethereum. And currently most of the projects are focusing only on number go up, instead of using the amazing technology and the amazing momentum, the amount of wealth that is being created, instead of being used for creating a better world for our children.
Very nicely said, Manu. All right, well, let's go to a very quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll have some fun. We'll finish off with the Crypto Conversation Hot Take Round.
Grow your wealth with the world's leading digital assets institution, Nexo. Earn up to 12% on your digital assets with Nexo's high-yield savings account. Treat yourself, your crypto and fiat with the industry-best crypto and fiat services, featuring compounding interest paid out daily, 18 available cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, stablecoins, and more. 3 fiat currencies are accepted: Euro, Pounds, and USD. Up to 375 million insurance on all custodial assets, top-ups and withdrawals available at any time, and 0 fees for using Nexo Earn Suite. Start earning at nexo.io. That's nexo.io.
All right, we're back, and I'm with Manu Alzuru. He is the CEO and co-founder, I think, of the DoinGud NFT platform, working on empowering creators, curators, and, well, trying to change the world, really, through the magical power of Solarpunk. Really good stuff. Hey, Manu, I like to finish each podcast with a quick round of rapid-fire crypto conversation hot takes. Are you up for it?
Let's go. Just one thing that I wanted to mention, Andy, is that you call me right now the CEO, but the idea is to actually not have one person leading the organization. The idea is that the community leads the organization. So we're used to having those type of, let's say, titles in traditional organizations. And in our organization, the idea is to not have that, and to be, community owned and community driven. Just wanted to clarify that.
That's right. If it's a DAO, it's a DAO. Ain't no need for CEO. Normally I just edit this out. I could edit out the CEO bit, Manu, but I think you've explained yourself quite well. So I think we'll just leave it in there. But I mean, everyone says that, right? They say, well, we're going to decentralize our product, our platform, our protocol. We're going to hand it back to the users. Everyone can share in the governance. So look, it's all good. Hot take round. Shall we do it?
Let's go for it.
All right. Just want quick, snappy answers. Manu, here we go. First question is, roll the music. Where do you sit on the Bitcoin maximalist to multi-coin opportunist spectrum?
I think that if you are one blockchain maximalist, you're not really open-minded.
Yeah.
I'm a, let's say, multi-chain pluralist, I would say.
I like it. Nice. All right. Well, Manu, what would you say is your firmest conviction, a crypto opinion?
Okay, the firmest conviction that I have is that, we will definitely see how traditional ways of organizing humanity are going to are collapsing already, actually, and that crypto is going to actually be at the forefront of the change that we're experiencing.
Very nice, very nice. I like it. Okay, well, Bill Gates, Manu, Bill Gates famously said that we tend to overestimate what we can accomplish in 2 years and underestimate what we can accomplish in 10. So, whatever you like here, could be blockchain, crypto, NFTs, doing good. What does it look like in 10 years' time?
Well, I hope that in 10 years, the organization doesn't need me and doesn't need our, let's say, core team to be running by itself. Hopefully we're able to come together and govern this public good collectively. We know that it's difficult to get there, and we also know that decentralization is a spectrum and it's not 0 to 1 thing, but actually it's a spectrum, as I said before. So hopefully we get to a point where the platform is running by itself and governed by its contributors and people that are bringing value to the platform. That's what I'm expecting, and hopefully it's not in 10 years, but actually like in 3-4 years.
Awesome. Well, on a similar note, sci-fi author William Gibson said that the future is already here. It's just not evenly distributed. Can you think of an example of the future being here right now, Manu, but most people just aren't really aware of it?
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, the whole crypto movement, like the future is here already for a couple of years, and I think only 0.05% of the whole population around the world are actually using crypto. So I completely agree that it's not really distributed, and I think that actually the gap is going to become even bigger. Because as you know, people that got in a couple of years ago, they're doing very well, monetarily speaking. So I think that there's going to be a huge gap with, let's say, people that don't get into crypto and the people that got into crypto. And I still think that, to be honest, that we're still in the very early days. And yeah, that anyone that joins the movement right now will be very well off in a couple of years.
Very nice. Okay, well, as we start to finish off, it's time to zoom out, time to get a little bit weird, but I think you'll enjoy this question. It's probably right up your alley. What do you see as the long-term future for the human race? If we do zoom out, do you see dystopia or utopia?
I'm an optimistic person.
Yes.
I believe that humanity is having a social awakening right now. We've been hypnotized our entire life, let's say, and we've been taught these concepts of value. We've been taught these concepts of nation states and imaginary lines that divide humanity. I personally think that, you know, that we humans, we're gonna come together and we're going to realize that governments and other traditional infrastructures are just trying to keep us blind and trying to keep us in a state that we don't really know what's going on around us. And, you know, thanks to the internet, I think that information is flying super fast. However, I have to say that, you know, even though the information is flying super fast, we humans, we really fail at helping each other out and actually, you know, giving a hand to our fellow humans, to our other, let's say, brothers and sisters. And a clear example is what's happening in Afghanistan right now. Like, we all know how bad it is for women right now and for all the society there, and we still don't do anything about it. And yeah, it's you know, and also, for example, what's happening in Venezuela, my home country. Everyone knows that, you know, that the whole system is completely corrupt and not humanitarian at all. But, you know, I think that people still care more about money than about human wellness. But however, as I said, I'm optimistic, and I think that we're living social awakening, and with what's happening with NFTs, we're living a new renaissance as well.
Yes, indeed. I like it. All right, let's finish this off, Manu. The final question is, and I'd love it if you could approach this from a Solarpunk angle, but what is your favorite science fiction book, a film, show, or universe? Okay,
yeah, that's a good question. Honestly, I really like a lot of science fiction, but I haven't really seen science fiction related to Solarpunk.
Yes.
Yeah, there hasn't been much. One of the movies that I really liked was Back to the Future. I think it would be amazing if we could come back to the future and amend a lot of things that we've done wrong. But yeah, I would say that's one of my favorite movies. I wish I could have one in my mind that I could say this one is a Solarpunk movie and I feel connected to it. But honestly, there are not that many out there.
Yeah, true. I just occurs to me that Lorde, I don't know if you know Lorde, the kind of pop singer. She's from New Zealand, but she just had her new song. I think it's called Solar Power. Maybe that's her new album is called Solar Power. And the video is it's on a beach and there's sun and I think it's kind of Solarpunk.
Nice. Anyway. I gotta watch that.
Yeah, gotta watch it. All right, let's close this out. Nothing else to say really, Manu, except hand the microphone back to you. Please tell the people where they can find you on Twitter and where they should go to find out more about DoinGud and what you guys are building.
Yeah, for sure. So my Twitter or any social media handle is Manu Alzuru, and I'll spell it out. It's MANULZURU.
Awesome. All right. Well, I really appreciate you coming on. It's been cool to chat Solarpunk, and wish you all the best. We'll be watching with interest. But for now, it's bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you so much, Andy, for having me here.
All right. A pleasure. Take care. Bye. All right. There you go. That was Manu from DoinGud, NFT platform. On the way to launching. Yeah, quite ambitious. Be a hard one to pull off, but good luck to them. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the show. It was a bit of a weird show today. It took me a while to get going. Maybe it's because it's quite late at night. I usually record in the morning, but it's quite late at night. So yeah, it took me a while to get into the conversation. Hey, it happens. no one's perfect, but I did enjoy chatting Solarpunk. And yeah, I think I'll put a link to that Lord song that I was talking about in the show notes. Worth a watch. Is it a stretch to call Lord's solar power single Solarpunk? I don't think it is. I think it's quite accurate actually. So do suggest that you seek that out if your interest has been piqued by Solarpunk. Yeah, it's kind of the flip side, as I said, of Cyberpunk. All right, well, as I say, it's late here, so I might just ramble off. And as I say, we'll be back with our regular programming very soon here on the Crypto Conversation. But for now, it is goodbye. This was the Crypto Conversation for Brave New Coin.